church, the Muslims, everybody else play around with names. Like, I think the Muslims, they God is Allah, and they just say it like he their friend. You feel me? And you can never equate the Most High on that type of level to where he's just like your friend. You feel me? Real talking. We'll never play with the Lord's name in here. Isupk under command and honor. So if I could, if you can go to that screenshot I sent you.
Come.
Oh, Salaki, clap it up for the trooper, not with Dom in here with me. Osana Christ, real talk.
Come. The letter J was invented in 1524 by Italian Renaissance grammarian Gian Giorgio Trissino.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So let's start there. You feel me? Let's start there high. First of all, what you reading in the Bible is not even, you feel me, English. You feel me? What you gotta understand about the Bible, the Old Testament was in Hebrew and the New Testament was in Greek. And it got translated to English because King James, which was a black man, was at war with the Catholic Church. You feel me? So the letter J, the letter J wasn't even invented during this time. Like, real talk. The letter J was not even invented. So yeah, go ahead.
Before Trissino's work, scribes used the letters I and J interchangeably to represent both vowel and consonant sounds.
Right, and another thing what you got to understand about the Hebrew language, we don't have what this how they knew the native Indians was the chosen people of God, because they didn't use a lot of vowels. You feel me? Because in the Hebrew alphabet, it's not a lot of vowels. What's the vowel? A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y. Right. You feel me? It's not a lot of vowels in the Hebrew language. Like, real talk. And the letter J was invented in 1524. The Israelites been around for thousands of years. So that's already not adding up right there. You feel me? The name Jesus already is not even adding up. You feel me? Because if the letter J was invented in 1524, then who the hell is Jesus? Who the hell is that? You feel me? Who the hell is that? And this is God's only begotten son who they playing with. You feel me? They didn't just name him something. They forget what his real name. Anakodam. What if somebody told you after you passed away, forget what your name is, forget your reputation? That's the reason why people play around with the Most High in Christ. It starts right there, as simple as the name. Not even correcting the name. You feel me? Real talk.
Trissino was the first to distinguish between the two sounds, creating the current phoneme for J.
Right, and that's how he came up with that. You feel? This is an Italian. You feel me? He didn't came up with that. The letter J in 1524, when Christ was dead for almost 2,000 years. You feel me? That's how they came up with the whole numbers. You feel me? The whole numbers right now that we going off of is from when Christ died. It's the year 2024 because Christ died 2,024 years ago, give or take a few years. You feel me?
Right.
That's how they came up with the number system BC, before Christ, or AD, after death. You feel me? That's how important Christ was to this planet, because they know his story is true. They know his story is real, no matter how many people today try to make it seem like it was a joke. You feel me? But they playing with his name and his reputation. You feel me? Real talk. And if you playing with Christ's name and reputation, you playing with the Father's name and reputation.
Right. The letter J originated as a decorative flourish or swash on the letter I. Scribes began using a tailed form of I next to the short form of I towards the end of the Middle Ages.
Right. And that's why, if you notice how the lowercase j got the dot and the lowercase I got the dot, that's the reason why.
When printing was invented, the tailed form of I was often used for initials. The first English language books to clearly distinguish between I and J were the King James Bible, first revision, Cambridge in 1629.
Right. And 1629 was the first clearly distinguished between I and J. You feel me? It was invented, the letter J was invented in 1524, but it was clearly distinguished between I and J. You feel me? They was clearly distinguished in 1629. You feel me? In 1629. Are you kidding me? It's 2024 and we still calling them Jesus.
Right.
People getting Jesus' name tatted on them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't even know what the Lord name is. They don't even know. What they call him, Jehovah's Witness?
Right.
They call him Jehovah's Witness because they don't even know his name. They calling him Jehovah. You feel me? They calling him Jehovah because and the letter J was invented in 1524. But they calling him Jehovah. That don't even make sense. When we didn't have that letter in our alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like I'm saying, they playing with the Lord's name in our face, like real tough. So yeah, we can drop that. You got something? Go ahead.
I was just finishing the rest of it. That's it.
Oh no, that's cool. We ended with that. Now go ahead, go to that article about the storm.
Okay. A storm and the first punch of winter-like chill will combine to cause Thanksgiving travel headaches across the eastern half of the United States as Mother Nature serves up a smorgasbord of sloppy weather.
No, they ain't no goddamn Mother Nature. That's the Most High. See what I'm saying? See how they keep playing with his name?
Right.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? How they keep playing with the Lord's name? They said this Mother Nature.
Right.
They say this is Mother Nature. They labeled him a woman. When you see hurricanes and natural disasters, they say, well, it was just Mother Nature. So like, forget the Most High. You feel me? They already named him something else, Jehovah, that ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
They done named his son a black man. They calling him Jesus Christ, which ain't real. They say the letter J was invented in 1524. Now they say this Thanksgiving weather that's about to cause a lot of havoc for people trying to travel to go see their family to eat some dry ass turkey. Because you know they don't know how to even cook the turkey right. Let's start there. They don't even know how to cook the turkey. I'm going to just keep it real with you. But they saying it's Mother Nature. And it's funny though, look where it's hitting at. You see the map? That's the original 13 colonies, ain't it?
Okay.
Ain't that the ones that came over here saying they was pilgrims?
Right.
And they just needed to help. They needed the Native Indians help so they could live off the land.
Right.
Where the Lord hitting that part of the land at the time of Thanksgiving with a storm. With a really bad storm where they say you might not even want to travel. That's how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you still think the Lord is not to be played with. This could have happened anywhere. This could have happened in the Midwest. This could have happened in the South. This could have happened in the West Coast, the Northwest. It's happening where the 13 colonies started at.
Right.
You feel me? That ain't no coincidence, real talk. That ain't no damn Mother's Nature. That's the Lord's will. You feel me? Because the Lord's name has been played around with for far too long. I'm just keeping it real with you.
The storm will roll through parts of the Midwest and South Wednesday night and spread across the East on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
At the same time, frigid air will surge into the U.S. like shoppers clamoring for Black Friday deals.
Right. All that. That's what I'm saying. All this stuff happened right around the time. So like, all that stuff happened right around the time of Thanksgiving. This could have happened last week.
Okay.
This could have happened last week. Now, you still think the Lord to be played with? All right, look, well, me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. You feel me? Us and ISUPK, we're going to serve the Lord, and we're going to let y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want.
Right.
If you do whatever the hell you want, we just going to keep serving the Lord and watch this kingdom fall, because this ain't no goddamn coincidence. I'm just keeping it real.
The storm's exact track is still unclear and will dictate which areas receive holiday snow and which areas end up in a wet, dreary mess. But two scenarios are in play, and in each there will be a disruptive storm for last-second travelers.
Right, last-second travelers. Everybody that's traveling to go see their family in the 13 colonies, the ones that had Thanksgiving, they killed the Native American Indians. You know, it was only one day later. was one day. People think that they ate that feast of Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims and Indians, and it was like 3-4 years later where they started killing them and enslaving them. It was one day later. One day after the feast in the 13 colonies, they started killing the Native Indians and enslaving them, raping their women. Hey, the dude in my slave today was so funny. He told me, it was a white dude in my slave. He said, man, I want to say happy Thanksgiving. I said, man, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I said, man, y'all stole our land. Like, his whole face dropped because we had the slave. He thinking I'm gonna be like, yeah, happy Thanksgiving, pal. Right. I say, man, y'all stole our land. I ain't celebrating no damn Thanksgiving. His whole mouth dropped. He like, well, damn, nigga. I'm a nigga. They would have hung on the tree. I already know. Right. I already know the way my mouth is. I'm a nigga. They would have just hung on a tree and they would have been done with me. But that shit was so damn funny. But the look in his face, I felt like we was at camp calling the white man a devil. You feel me? Like real talk. That's the type of feeling I got when I seen his mouth drop. He like, well, damn, nigga. Right. Real talk.
The first scenario.
He said the wall should have been built in. That's a damn fact. Somebody said, I wish I could have went back in time and gave their ass a switch. They putting the switches on the Glocks. Some nigga said, I wish I could have went back in time and gave the Native Indians a switch to put on a Glock for their ass. Like real talk. They was a goddamn plague for real.
Yeah. The first scenario would have a storm develop in the plains Wednesday and strengthen as it heads east. It will become quite a potent force by Wednesday night as it spreads rain from the Midwest to the South.
Right, and from that bad weather, you know, the Midwest and South don't just get the rain, but they say the East, the 13 colonies that showed on that map, they gonna get the bad weather, and they say it's really gonna be bad for last second travelers. See what I'm saying? This is insane. Right. Yeah, but yeah, we can drop that. We can go to that last article. Real talk, and we just gonna read this last article just for people that's struggling, you know, with the turkey. You know, people. They just need the turkey. People finding all type of reasons to eat this damn turkey. I ain't even know people love turkey this much. I ain't look. I'm not gonna. I ain't know people love turkey that much.
Me neither.
Like I'm just keeping it real with you. I didn't even know black people love turkey. I thought we like chicken. For real. I didn't even know they like turkey this much. But if you having a problem with it and your mom and them, you know, it's for you to come on over. We just gonna read this for you real quick.
Okay. Thanksgiving is almost here, which means people all over the country are making plans to either travel to or host family and friends for the holiday. The good news for those traveling or not in the mood to cook this Thanksgiving is consumers will have plenty of options to choose from. Some chains, such as McDonald's and Subway, have hours. Hours.
So McDonald's and Subway.
Right.
McDonald's got the I think they got the spicy McChicken, and it's good if you add cheese to it. Mm-hmm. Subway got the new steak sandwiches. They steak sandwiches is pretty good. You got to get it with oregano, salt, and pepper, and you got to get the oil on it. Boom. There you go.
I got one in the kitchen right now, sir.
Hey, the brother said I got one in the kitchen right now. Well, let's keep it going for the people that's struggling with the turkey. Let's keep it going.
And Subway have hours that vary by location, while others, such as Cracker Barrel and Hooters, will be open on the day.
Now, Hooters, if I ain't mistaken, minus the bitches with the tight stuff on, Hooters got some pretty good chicken.
For sure.
But if you go to Hooters, get the Parmesan garlic, extra wet, with blue cheese. There you go.
Okay.
Or go to Cracker Barrel. I know a lot of people don't like to go to Cracker Barrel because it has got cracker in the name.
Right.
But the food ain't that bad. You feel me? Go to Cracker Barrel, get you the country fried steak. Boom.
Okay. If you're looking for a quick cup of coffee for a midday boost, Starbucks and Dunkin' should also be open on Thanksgiving.
There you go. You got to get up in the morning. You don't want to go to mama crib and get no coffee to get enticed with that smell of that Thanksgiving food. Go to Dunkin' Donuts or go to Starbucks.
Here's what you need to know about restaurants and fast food chains on Thanksgiving, including whether they'll be open and their hours.
Hold on, wait. All right, well, Chick-fil-A gonna be closed. You can't get no Chick-fil-A, but they're gonna be open. Wendy's. We're just trying to help you with the demon, because I know it's a demon. I know it's a demon right now. It's a demon telling you to go to your mama house and just get you some of that food. But they say KFC gonna be open and Wendy's gonna be open too. Real talk.
Okay.
Who else gonna be open? We just trying to help them fight this demon. That's all. Because Thanksgiving is a demon. Because you ain't want turkey all year. They got turkey all the time. Oh no, wait. They say Taco Bell gonna be open.
Okay.
Taco Bell got the $5 box.
Right.
You know, a taco and nacho fry. So
Right.
Here. Burger King, Hardee's, man, look, we'll stop it there. Go get you some restaurant food. Tell your mama you're not coming over for Thanksgiving this year, man. You feel me? Or no year after this, because we ain't playing with the Lord's name no more. Real talk. So yeah, if I could, we could drop that. Let's go to Colossians 1 and 12 in the New Testament.
Okay. It's the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 12. Giving thanks unto the Father.
Right, giving thanks unto the Father. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We giving thanks unto a goddamn turkey. You a goddamn idiot. You a goddamn idiot. And it's not really so much the turkey. You giving respect for the so-called white man for conquering the native Indians, man. When you don't even know he didn't even conquer the native Indians with war. He did it with disease.
Right.
Hold on, wait. What the brother say? He said we eat smothered turkey, mac and cheese, string beans, cornbread, and sweet potatoes all the time. Hey, you know that's right. You know that's right. Every Sunday, Hardmark, we doing something big, ain't we? Hardmark, no. Real talk. Might even eat some tacos and just call it a day.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me? For the Mexicans and the Native Indians that was killed because of this goddamn holiday, we might just go ahead and eat us some tacos all day. You feel me?
Right. Which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light.
Right. And that's a fact, man. You feel me? The Lord made us to be an inheritance of the saints. You feel me? The saints is sinners that repented.
Right.
You feel me? The saints is sinners that repented. And that's all we trying to turn all Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians to. You feel me? Is sinners that was once sinners and now they've repented.
Right.
You feel me? And they've given up the lust of the so-called white man. You feel me? They didn't given up the lust that the so-called white man put on them to not come serve the one true living God. You feel me? Real talk. Go ahead. We're going all the way to 16.
Okay. Verse 13. Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness.
Right. And that's a fact. You know, that's a fact. Anybody that's celebrating Thanksgiving or any holidays, you in darkness. You in darkness. Because all this stuff is man-made, just like the letter J. All this stuff is man-made. All this stuff was invented in what, the 1900s? They took all these holidays that they got you worshiping from pagan rituals. You hear me? All these pagan rituals, they didn't turn into holidays that you celebrate every day.
Right.
You hear me? Real talk. And the Lord, he took us in the Isupk and the Commander Johanna from that darkness.
And hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear son.
Right. And translated. Think about translated when we talking about words. When you translate a word from English to Spanish, you feel me?
Right.
And that's what the Lord did to us. He put us from one place to another. Now we understand. You feel me? Because when you read Spanish, you don't understand it until it's translated. And that's what the Lord did to us. And now we understand the kingdom of his son. Now we get it. You feel me? Which don't nobody get but us. We the only ones that get it. Because everybody think Christ died for everybody and he coming back for hugs and kisses, but that's not true. You feel me? Real talk. People saying the law is done away with. How is the law done away with if you still living in darkness? That don't even make no sense.
Okay.
If he translated us darkness to light, How is the law done away? That don't even make no sense, man.
In whom we have redemption through his blood.
Right, and he died. You feel me? We redeemed. You feel me? We brought back into the covenant because he died for us.
Even the forgiveness of sins.
Right, and all the sins that we done is forgiveness, which means we done with the darkness and now we in light. Now we see. Now we see what the Lord wants us to do. But it's just a very small few of us. You feel me? It's not a lot of us.
Verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God?
Right, and that's a fact. You feel me? Christ is the image of the invisible God. For people that say God and Jesus is the same person, you a goddamn idiot. You a goddamn idiot if you out here saying God and Jesus is the same person. You're only saying that because you don't want to keep the law. And you feel like, well, Christ was perfect because he was God in a fleshly form. You a goddamn fool. He was just the image, the reputation. You feel me? The reputation of the invisible God, which is talking about the Most High.
Right.
That's why I say we out here playing with the Lord's name every day. Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you the Israelites.
Right.
According to the Bible, according to history, according to facts, you are the Israelites. And if you celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever, you playing with the Lord's name. You playing with his son. He died for you to stop sinning. He died. He was murdered. He got up on that cross and died for you. And every day you sin, he being crucified all over again. And that's what the Bible say.
Right.
He being crucified all over again every time you sin.
The firstborn of every creature.
Right.
Verse 16. For by him were all things created.
Right, and that's a fact. By Christ, all things was created. You feel me? The Most High sent Christ, and Christ created everything. You feel me? Christ created everything that's in the earth. You feel me? By the Lord's will. Go ahead.
That are in heaven and that are in earth. Visible and invisible.
Right, visible and invisible. The stuff you can see and the stuff you can't see. You feel me? Christ was right there with the Most High when all this stuff was getting created, man. When back in the book of Genesis, when he told them to go create the earth, create man, Christ was right there.
Right.
He was right there. Real talk.
Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers.
Right. All that stuff. Christ was right there, man. Christ was right there when all that stuff was being created, man. Real talk.
All things were created by him and for him.
Right. Christ is the king of this planet. He's the true king of this planet. All things were created by him and for him. Real talk. And it was the Lord's will for that to happen. Real talk. So yeah, let's drop that. Go to Genesis 14 and 14.
Okay. 14. Book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 14. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants.
Hold on, wait. Salaki, my bad. My computer tripping. Let me get that with you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. Genesis 14, chapter 14, verse 14. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants.
Right. And what you got to say about Abraham, a lot of people have misconstrued Abraham. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, it's really the white man. He make it seem like Abraham was some poor man in the gut. Man, Abraham was rich, man. Him and Lot. And Lot, that wasn't just his brother, that was his nephew. You feel me? And that's the reason why when we got brothers older than us, younger than us, we all call him, this my brother. My brother. Right. That's what Abraham said. Abraham called Lot his brother when that was his nephew. You feel me? But his nephew got taken captive by some African kings that he was living around. And Abraham went to war with them to get his nephew back. Real talk.
Born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan.
Right. You go ahead. We're going all the way to 20.
And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Habah, which is on the left hand of Damascus.
Right. So they went to war with them, and they won, and they ran away, like people do when they lose in a war.
And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people.
Right. So he won the war. He got Lot back. He got all the people. And what you got to understand, he's doing all this because of the Most High. You feel me? He's doing all this because of the Most High. A God that can't nobody see. You feel me? During this time, people was worshiping stuff that they could see. You feel me? Abraham left his family. His family worshiped the stars.
Right.
They worshiped the star. They looked up to the sky and worshiped the star. I had people do with zodiac signs and stuff like that. But Abraham, you feel me? He was actually, the Lord was actually dealing with him, and Abraham trusted in the Lord. You feel me? Because at this time, he could have just left Lot to die.
Right.
He rich, he wealthy, he got his own land. He could have just left Lot to die, but no, because he trusted in the Lord being on his side, he went and got Lot back.
And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him in the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale.
Right. And all them kings that lost that war, they went out to meet him because they knew the Lord was with him. You feel me? They knew the Lord was with him.
And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine.
Right. And Melchizedek, the king of Salem. You know what Salem mean? I mean peace. You feel me? The king of peace met him. Who was the king of peace? This is talking about Christ in the Old Testament.
Right.
You feel me? This is one of Christ's first appearances. You feel me? I think it was Adam first, and then it was this.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
This is Christ in the Old Testament. You feel me? He's the king of peace. You feel me? And he met Abraham. And that's why in the New Testament, Christ said, Abraham, prayed to see his day, was happy to see his day. You feel me? Because Abraham met him in the past. You feel me? Like real talk. Abraham had respect for the Most High's name. That's why he was called the friend of God. Real talk.
And he was the priest of the Most High God.
Right. He was a priest. What is a priest? A teacher, representation of the Lord. And at this time, Israel was not a nation. All it was Abraham, which is our forefather. He's the father of our faith.
Right.
Abraham met the king of peace, which was a priest to the Most High God. This is talking about Christ.
And he blessed him and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth.
Right. And Abraham got blessed. He got blessed by Melchizedek, who is Christ. You feel me? Real talk, because he trusted in the Lord. You feel me? He had respect for the Lord's name, for his reputation. Real talk. And that's why in the New Testament, it talks about how we not after the order of the Levites, it's after the order of Melchizedek.
Right.
You feel me? Because that's Christ. Otherwise, that's a contradiction. If Christ came and laid down the law and laid down what we're supposed to do and died on the cross, but then it say in Hebrews after the order of Melchizedek, you feel me? The only explanation behind that is that Melchizedek and Christ is the same spirit. You feel me? But a lot of people that read the Bible don't know about reincarnation or believe in reincarnation. So they don't understand how that could be possible. Like real talk.
Verse 20. And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thine enemies into thine hand.
Right. And blessed be the Most High God that delivered thy enemies into thy hand. Because that's how it's going to happen. You feel me? The Lord is going to deliver the enemies in your hand. You feel me? You're not going to buy your way out of slavery. You feel me? The Native Indians couldn't buy their way out of slavery. When the Pilgrims came over here, it was nothing they could do. It was nothing the Native Indians could do. They needed the Lord on their side, but we weren't serving the Lord. You feel me? When the Native Indians and all the other 10 tribes came over here after the Assyrian captivity, they was not serving the Lord, even though they said they was.
Right.
Even though they said they was, in the Apocrypha, they didn't do it.
And he gave him tithes of all.
Right. And Abraham paid tithes to Melchizedek. He gave him 10% of all the stuff he had. which is biblical and is of the Lord, that you give 10% of what you earn to a man of God. Real talk. That's biblical. But the Christians mess that up. The Christians are how you think of paying tithes is evil, when really it's only evil because they ain't serving the Lord.
Right.
Or teaching you how to serve the Lord. Real talk. So yeah, we can drop that. And let's go to Exodus 3 and 13.
Okay. Exodus chapter 3 and verse 13. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name?
Right. So now we getting ready to come out of Egypt. Moses is about to free us out of Egypt from in slavery under the Egyptians. You feel me? Now he's saying like the God of your fathers, because these are the children of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Now we are a nation in slavery, but we never knew the Lord's name. We never knew the Lord's name. Just like right now in America, we don't know the Lord's name. We calling him Allah. Feel me? We calling him Jesus. We think Jesus is God. We calling him all kind of stuff because we never knew his name. We never knew his name because we didn't ever respect it long enough to hold on to it. So Moses is saying, what is his name? And he talking to an angel that was sent by the Most High.
What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Right. He said, I am that I am. And that's how you know this is a black man's book. Because he didn't even tell him what his name was. He just said, I am that I am. That's just like if somebody's saying something to you and you say, man, it is what it is.
Right.
They expecting a direct answer. They asking you something serious. And you like, man, it is what it is. That's basically what happened right here. But a lot of fake Israelites took this and translated this and said, this is the Lord's name. I am that I am. They translated that into Hebrew, and whatever that means in Hebrew, they say that's the Lord's name. Goddamn idiots.
Right.
Goddamn idiots, man. Real talk. And these are the same people that's putting this on tennis shoes and t-shirts and necklaces. You an idiot, man. Real talk. That's all I'm gonna say.
And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you.
Right. I am that sent you unto you. Like basically saying, like, who the hell are y'all to question me? Y'all in slavery. Just know you're being free. That what do it matter what the hell my name is? You being free.
Right.
And that's just like black people. I'm telling you, this is how you know this is a black man's book. And this is talking about black people. Because this is the type of stuff black people will say. Well, who sent you? Yeah, you coming to free us, but who sent you?
And God said, moreover, unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, The Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac. So
right. Y'all forgot? Y'all been in slavery in Egypt that long? The God of your fathers. Y'all have a God. Y'all in here worshiping and Akhenaten and Seti and the Book of the Dead. Y'all in Egypt tripping, just like we is in America. We in here, we Episcopalian. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know how I even know that name. But it's a religion.
right.
You in here talking about you a Scientologist, which was a book. That was not even a religion. A Scientology was not a religion. That was like a book or something somebody wrote. You feel me? It's black people saying they all kind of stuff, man.
Right.
And that's just how we've always been. When the whole time we had the only true living God was on our side.
The God of Isaac and the God of Jacob, so like, have sent me unto you.
Right. That's who sent me unto you. The God of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, sent me unto you. While you sitting there worshiping white Jesus, you worshiping Allah and Buddha and whatever else, worshiping that blunt that you got in the ashtray. You feel me? You worshiping that damn woman that don't give a damn about you. You feel me? You spending all your money to please her. You worshiping all that when the God of your father is coming to put you in rulership, you dummy.
This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations.
Right. Come on, man. This is my memorial for all generations. I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's all you need to know. Us and Isupk and the Commander Hunter, we come in the name, you feel me, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You feel me? Because they are our fathers, and they serve the God that we have never served. You feel me? He picked us to rule the planet, and we ain't never served him. We chose everything else. We chose to serve people rather than the Most High God. Like real talk. Yeah, so we can drop that. Go to Exodus 20:4.
Okay. The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Right. And so now it's getting real. So Moses is telling us what he don't want us to ever do, which is what we was doing in Egypt, because that's what the Egyptians was doing. He said, don't make no graven images. Don't do that. Don't do that. No crescent moons like Farrakhan got, on the south side of Chicago on a Muslim temple. Got all them black people in there worshiping the goddamn moon. That's who they worship. Right. If you a Muslim, you worshiping the moon. I'm just keeping it real. You worshiping the moon. You an idiot. That's a sin.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Right, or anything that's in heaven above. Like people say, man, y'all got a star. Y'all worshiping a star. This is not a star. A star is a ball of gas. This is King David's name, the first king of Israel.
Right. Or that is in the earth beneath.
Right, don't worship nothing in the earth beneath. Because that's another thing people was always doing. You feel me? And you got to understand the times we was living in at this time. We was coming out of Egypt. Egyptians had a god for every day of the year. They worshiped dogs, cats. They thought the dogs was the kings of the underworld when you die. And they thought the cats was the kings of some. I forgot exactly what it was, but Egyptians are idiots. They stupid and they stink. And they eat some shit called fufu, which I'm not telling you to ever eat, even on Thanksgiving. It's like, even on Thanksgiving, don't eat the fufu. I'm just keeping it real. Find something else to eat.
Or that is in the water under the earth.
Right.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
Right, because that's something we always done. We always bow down and we serve idols. We serve idols instead of the Lord. And of course, it's the heathens that got us doing this. It ain't nothing we just chose to do. It's the heathens got us doing this.
For I, the Lord, thy God, am a jealous God.
He's a what?
A jealous God.
Right, he's a jealous God. See, jealousy is a human trait to have, and it's good for certain times. It's not nothing you should use all the time. I'm gonna just keep it real. But when it comes down to your people and your God, you should be jealous when they choose another nation over you. You feel me? Real talk. You see a white girl with a black dude, you should know he's a fucking idiot. Don't give him no damn props. He's an idiot.
Right.
She's his damn pet. I mean, he her pet. And vice versa. You see a black dude with a white girl, he's weak. He couldn't put up with the black woman's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He's weak. He's a coward. Like real talk.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation.
Right. And that's what you got to understand. You feel me? You don't respect the Lord's name. You don't respect his reputation. You don't respect what the Lord laid down. He's going to visit your children upon the third and fourth generation. And you know why? Why he's going so far down the line? Because he's looking for you. Because reincarnation is real. Right. The Lord trying to make sure you get all this smoke. Everything you did to disrespect the Lord while you was living, he gonna make sure you reap all the benefits for it. He gonna search for you through your third and fourth generation. Real talk.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Right, but if you love the Lord and you keep the commandments, and now he's gonna show mercy. You hear me? Now you get forgiven for the crimes you committed against the Lord. Real talk. And that's all the Lord wants. That's all the Lord wants, is us to come back and serve him. That's all he ever wants. You hear me? That's all a father ever wants, is for the kids to come back and act right. You feel me? A father don't want to put his kids out. He don't want to have his kids sleeping outside on the porch, going house to house. He want the kid to come back and act right. But if you don't want to come back and act right, you're going to have to stay out there with them people. You feel me? And maybe they'd be better parents to you than your father could, which they don't. The so-called white man has been a terrible parent. You feel me? He got black women killing 350,000 babies a year. You feel me? He got black women turning against. You feel me? He got black women turning against a man. Like real talk.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Right. And that's the point. Don't take the Lord of God's name in vain. Don't do that. You feel me? Don't take the Lord's God's name in vain. That's why we don't play with the Lord's name. You feel me? That's why we don't play with the Lord's name. Don't take his name in vain. And mean in vain is talking about useless. Mm-hmm. It means nothing. You feel me? Don't take the Lord's God's name in vain. Like,
for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Right. And you sitting around playing with the Lord's name like it means nothing, you're not going to be guiltless. You're not going to be guiltless if you tattooing the Lord's name on you. You put his name on a t-shirt or on a chain. And we don't play like that. The Lord is not your friend. You feel me? You're not your friend. I know in the Christian church, the black women say Jesus is their boyfriend. But I'm just keeping it real with you.
Go, God.
The Lord's only begotten son that he sent it down the cross for you, man. And it ain't no playing with the Lord's name. Like real talk. Ain't no playing with his name. Because you playing with his name, you playing with his reputation. Like real talk. Playing with the reputation. It's not as simple as a name. You playing with the reputation of that person. Real talk. Yeah, so we could drop that. Go to Ecclesiasticus and Apocrypha 12:4.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 4. Give to the godly man and help not a sinner.
Right. Give unto the godly man and help not a sinner. You know what the Christians teach about this? They teach that you shouldn't give poor people food. You feel me? You shouldn't help out poor people. You shouldn't help out people that's committing crimes. You should snitch on people. Turn them in to the police. That's not what this is talking about. Do you know who the sinner is talking about?
Baba Shah, if I may, it's talking about the other nations.
Nah, because the other nations can't be sinners because they weren't given the law. This is talking about pastors. This is talking about rich people that's in power. They the sinners. The Bible say the rich oppress you. That's what the Bible say.
Right.
The rich is who oppress you. Like real talk. So now the godly man help not the sinner is talking about rich people that's oppressed. Like that's just like us helping TD Jakes. Not helping you.
Right.
You a sinner. You leading down people to death. We're not helping you. This is not talking about the Bloods and the Crips.
Mhm.
This is talking about the pastors and the rich people. This is talking about Farrakhan.
Verse 5, do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly.
See what I'm saying? Do well to him that's lowly. That's talking about the poor. The poor people. Do well to them. But give not to the ungodly. How do you be ungodly? When you teaching against the Most High. Poor people is not teaching against the Most High. Poor people is trying to feed themselves. The poor people is standing in line for a turkey right now. The ungodly is talking about the people that's giving them the turkey. The drug dealers, the damn pastors and them. They the ones, they the ungodly. The poor is not who they talking about.
Right.
But the pastors and the rich people will tell you that the ungodly is the poor people.
Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him,
Right.
lest he overmaster thee thereby.
Right. And that's what they're gonna do. You feel me? You give to the rich, they already got whatever they need. You feel me? And they gonna overmaster you. They gonna overmaster you. They don't need no help. The pastors, the rich people, they don't need no help. The poor need your help. They the ones need your help. They need your wisdom. Feel me? They the ones got problems that ain't nobody helping them with. The rich people got many friends.
Right. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
Right, and that's a fact. Feel me? You're gonna receive twice as much evil. You're gonna end up receiving twice as much evil.
Verse 6, for the Most High hateth sinners.
Right, and that's the point. That's the point. The Most High hates sinners. If you a sinner, the Most High hates you. If you a sinner, the Most High does not like you. He hates you. He don't hear your prayers.
Right.
Praying tonight, crying for a Tesla or a BMW, the Lord hates you. You feel me? Sometimes the Lord will let Satan give you everything you need to destroy you. You feel me? You might think that you're getting blessed by the Lord when really you're getting blessed by Satan. Because the Lord about to use Satan to destroy you with all these gifts and all this stuff you think you need.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
And that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up getting repaid vengeance unto the God. Look what happened to Lil Durk. You know, I hate to throw him under the bus, but it's the goddamn truth. Lil Durk probably prayed to get rich.
Right.
Prayed to be the best rapper. And he got it all, and it destroyed him. It destroyed him. Now he in jail and probably ain't never coming home.
And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Right, and that's for people that think they got away with murder. It's people out here thinking they getting away. Every day is people thinking they getting away scot-free when the whole time the Lord is just waiting. He's just waiting. You hear me? To that mighty day of their punishment. Real talk. All right, so yeah, we could drop that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. I'm gonna stay in Apocrypha 16 and 12.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health.
Right, and because that's a lot of people think weed is the cure. They think weed helps them. Nah, weed don't help you. Weed, the reason why you can't eat or sleep unless you smoke is because you're addicted. It's because you're addicted to the drug. Mm-hmm. That's why you need to get high, snort a line, get drunk or whatever before you eat a drink, because you're addicted.
But thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things.
Right, and that's what healeth all. It's the Lord being with you. You feel me? The Lord being with you is what heal all things. It's not medicine. You can take medicine and it don't work. Right. There's people who spend money on medicine every day and it don't work. That's why they don't like old people don't like taking their medicine. It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't working because the Lord ain't with you. Real talk. You was being reserved for the day of judgment, and this is your judgment.
For thou hast power of life and death. Thou leadest to the gates of hell and bringest up again.
Right. And that's because the Most High, he got the power of life and death. You feel me? Blessings and curses. You feel me? And that's on earth. You feel me? Because you could be on earth and you could be dead. That's drug addicts. That's why they getting high. They depressed. They so depressed they got to get high every day. You feel me? They got to get high every day. Real talk.
A man indeed killeth through his malice, and the spirit.
No, that's all I wanted on that. That's all I want on that. Just to show that the Lord has the power of life and death.
Okay.
You hear me? And playing with his name is real stupid. Knowing that if you get sick right now, it's because of the Lord. But if you get cured, it's also because the Lord was with you. You feel me? Because he got the power of life and death. You don't have power over your own life.
Right.
You feel me? You don't have power over that. The Lord has power over your own life. You feel me? So playing with his name, you playing Russian roulette. You feel me? You playing Russian roulette. If you don't know what Russian roulette is, that's when you take a bullet, put it in the gun, you spin it around, you keep clicking. Keep clicking to see, you feel me, if you win the game or if you die. And that's what you're doing every day when you play with the Lord's name, because he got the power of life and death, not you. Real talk. All right, so you could drop that. Go to Revelations 9 and 6.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 6. And in those days shall men seek death.
Right, and this is John the Revelator seeing a vision. You hear me? John the Revelator seeing a vision, and he's saying, like, man, look, during these times he said, man is seeking death. How do you seek death? First of all, why? I'm not gonna dumb if you can answer this for me. Why would somebody even want to seek death?
It's like, sir, I would say living in sin, living in fear.
The only reason why you would want to seek death is because you ain't serving the Lord.
Right.
Because it already just said that the Most High has the power of life and death. You feel me? Misery. Misery is a form of death. Being miserable is a form of death.
Right.
So now you miserable, you just want to get high to cure the misery. You poor. You want to get high to cure the fact that you poor. You feel me? Women out here that's living whorish lifestyles. They want to get high to cure the fact that they've been passed around the whole city. Like real talk. And what's going to keep happening is you're going to keep doing the same thing. People popping Percocets right now. They finna do it before the Thanksgiving dinner. They finna be popping Percocets when you keep seeing people dying from the fake perks. The Percocets is fentanyl. And people still popping them. You feel me? People still popping them. People finna be smoking weed. Knowing the weed nowadays is laced with all kind of stuff. You feel me? People are seeking death. People getting drunk and driving. Everybody is seeking death right now because of misery. Because we live in it, the so-called white man has everybody so miserable right now. These holidays put pressure on you so you so miserable. Because you got to spend all this money for gifts. You got to buy all this food. Who hosting the Thanksgiving this year? Is my macaroni up to par? Is my potato salad good this year? Did I cook the pie right? Who gonna be talking about me at the dinner table? You feel me? All this stuff is putting misery on people. When that's not what celebration is supposed to be about. You feel me? Everybody is seeking death. Go ahead.
And shall not find it.
And you're not finding it. Everybody's seeking to die, but they not finding it. You feel me? Everybody is seeking death, but they not finding it. The suicide rate is sky high. And everything that everybody doing that's making them commit suicide, they still doing it. They still doing it. People still seeking death, but they not finding it.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk. That's the type of life we live in. John the Revelator seen this thousands of years ago. 1,000 years ago, he seen that it was going to be a time where people was going to be trying to die, but it wasn't going to happen. They was going to wake up the next day.
Right.
Or in prison, whatever.
And shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
Right, and that's most people today. You hear me? Most people today is desiring to die, but it's fleeing from them. Because the Lord is saving you for another day. Like the scripture we just brought out, what that was in I think that was in Ecclesiasticus. You hear me? The Lord is saving you for another day. You trying to die today, overdosing, drunk driving, having sex with hoes, knowing these hoes got all kind of diseases. You trying to die, but the Lord is saving you for another day. Right. The brothers say the holiday season got the biggest suicide rate. Goddamn right. Because there's so much damn pressure.
Right.
So damn miserable during the holiday season. You know, that's the most miserable time is the holiday season. They come back to back. You got Thanksgiving, Christmas, then New Year's. Right. Then you got Valentine's Day where you got to prove to some bitch. Mm-hmm. You got to prove to some hoe. This bitch a goddamn hoe. You got to prove to her that you love her by buying her $1,000 worth of jewelry. Taking her to the Bahamas, to Jamaica. Man, yeah, like I live a different type of life. That's all I'm saying. Right. I live a different type of life. If I got to spend $1,000 to prove that I love you, bitch, I don't love you. Like, I obviously don't love you. If you telling me I got to spend $1,000 to prove that I love you, and I still ain't paid rent because I had to buy Christmas gifts, mm-hmm. I'm still 2 months behind on rent. Bitch, I don't love you. I'm just keeping it real. You mean? But you can't keep it real yourself. And it is what it is. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, nah, but we could drop that. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 21 and 15.
1 Chronicles chapter 21, verse 15. And God sent an angel into Jerusalem to destroy it.
Man, Salaki, my computer is tripping. You go ahead, just go ahead and read it. I'm
okay.
Gonna just catch up.
And as he was destroying, the Lord beheld, and he repented him of the evil.
No, wait. No, that was heavy. So it say God sent an angel to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is our homeland. Okay. That's our capital city. That the so-called white man, the fake Jews over there they inherited our land through murder. You feel me? Through murder, not through blood, through murder. Not it's not their blood, right? It's through murder why they is over there. They killed all the goddamn Palestinians and they still killing them right now. Genocide. You feel me? But the Lord sent an angel to our homeland while we was living there, and the angel was destroying it. Now you got to ask yourself, why would the Lord do that? Why would the Lord send an angel to our homeland where we at? Because at the time we all was there. All 12 tribes, we was there. Why would the Lord do that? You feel me? Because we were sinners. Because we was playing with his name. We was playing with his reputation. We was playing with the reputation of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the Lord sent an angel there to destroy us. Just like right now. Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you going through something, you feel like you can't get a break. The Lord doing it. It ain't the devil. It's like the devil is your slave master. He your supervisor at your job. That's the devil. But when you going through something that ain't got nothing to do with him, that's the Lord. You hear me? The Lord is sending an angel. Feel me? To destroy you. Real talk. Because you ain't keeping the laws. You ain't keeping the commandments. Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, that's our whole duty. Our whole duty in life is to keep the commandments. Everything else gonna come with it. Right. All the blessings that you want, the Lord gonna let it come with it. You ain't gonna even know how it happened. You ain't gonna know how you got this business or this job or this wonderful husband or wonderful wife. You ain't gonna know how that happened. But I'm just telling you first, everything starts with serving the Lord. Then all that stuff gonna come with it.
And he repented to him of the evil and said to the angel that destroyed, it is enough.
It is enough. Right. It is enough, because if you playing with the Lord's name, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this is what's gonna happen to you. The Lord is gonna send an angel, not the devil. You hear me? That's not who's gonna be the one doing it. He's gonna send an angel, and the angel is gonna set up different type of situations to where you end up in hell on earth. You end up struggling or going through all type of stuff on earth. Real talk. An angel is the one that set it up by the Lord's hand.
Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Lord stood by the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. The Lord is going to send an angel to destroy your life if you're not keeping the commandments. If you're not respecting the Lord, you feel me? That's what's going to happen. Real talk. So let's drop that. Let's go to Revelations 22:1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 1. And he shewed me a pure river of water of life.
Right. And that's John the Revelator again, having another vision. The angels are showing them visions, and he see a pure water of life, a pure river of water of life. You feel me? Just like with Adam and Eve in the garden, the tree of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? They told Adam and Eve to eat only from the tree of life. You feel me? Don't eat from the tree of good and evil, well, you know, good and bad. Just eat from this tree.
Right.
And now John the Revelator, he's seeing in the sky, he's seeing the water of life. You feel me? Because what you got to understand about water is life. Because without water, you die. Food, you can go, weeks if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
But water, you can't go more than 3 days without water, and you dead. You feel me? He said it's clear as a crystal. Go ahead.
Proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb.
Now, this is a sidebar. You feel me? It's just a sidebar real quick. It say out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. God and the Lamb is two different people. For people to say God and Jesus is the same person, you an idiot. Because this say this is the throne of God and of the Lamb. Because Christ sits on the right hand of God. Real talk. But this is what John the Revelator is seeing. He's looking up in the sky and he's seeing the fourth dimension, which is a blessing.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life.
Was there the tree of life? Right. So now John the Revelator is seeing a street, and he say on one side he see the tree of life, and that's how you know Adam read the stars. You feel me? When it was talking about he was reading of the tree of life, this is what it was talking about. It was talking about him reading the stars, which was Abraham. His people read the stars, but that was done away with. You feel me? That was over with and done. And that's why Abraham had to leave his people so he can go serve the Lord for real.
Which bear 12 manner of fruits.
Right, and 12 manner of fruit because of the 12 tribes of Israel.
And yielded her fruit every month.
Right, and this is talking about wisdom. This fruit that this tree of life he's seeing is talking about the wisdom of the Lord.
And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
Right, and that's the proof. You remember these leaves, like how I talk about them in Adam and Eve, they put on the leaves, the fig leaves. You feel me? Right. And in Genesis, it say Adam and Eve put on the fig leaves, and people that don't understand the Bible, because nobody understands the Bible but the Isupk Indianapolis, the leaves was talking about the nations, they culture. But these leaves is the leaves Adam's supposed to keep. These the ones Adam was supposed to have on, and these was the ones for healing. You feel me? How do you heal? By keeping the laws and commandments. People, and there's people out there all the time talking about, I just need to heal. And it's ain't that what the women say?
Okay.
They having sex with every man on the block, telling I just need healing. That ain't the type of healing the Lord wanted you to have. You feel me? I'm just keeping it real. The type of healing the Lord wants us to have is the healing of the nations. You feel me? And the nations, of course, is some of the 12 tribes of Israel.
And there shall be no more curse.
Right, and there shall be no more curse. Because that's one thing we always went through since we've been chosen to be the chosen people of God is curses. We haven't been healed. You feel me? Because we're not keeping the commandments. We just keep dealing with the curses.
But the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him.
Right, and that's the point. You feel me? We got to serve the Lord, man. We got to serve the Lord. Real talk.
Like, so I got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically in Genesis, the leaves that Adam and Eve covered themselves with was like the ways of the other nations.
Yeah, that was a custom of the other nations.
Okay.
Yeah, the custom of the other nations, because the trees, we got to understand, it's like family tree.
Okay.
It's different family trees, and the leaves from the family trees is the fruit of the family. So they was basically living like the heathen nations because Eve, got finessed by the serpent, which we know now from understanding the Bible. You feel me? Under the Isupk and the Command Johanna was a man.
Right.
You feel me? He was a man the whole time, and they took on the customs of heathens when we were supposed to take on the custom of the Most High. Like, real talk.
Okay. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads.
Right, and they shall see his face. You feel me? And his name shall be in their forehead. So once the curses is gone, once we back serving the Lord the right way, how we were supposed to always been doing since Adam and Eve in the garden, it say now his name shall be in their foreheads. You know what that means? You ever heard that saying where people say, man, it's written all over your face.
Right.
When you like, man, ain't nothing written on my face, but they could just tell, they talking about like they could just tell how you feel about something.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And that's just us in ISUPK. When they see us, they could tell how we feel about the Lord. Right. The way we dress, the way we talk, the way we walk, the way we raise our children. They can say it, they know it's written on our face that we serve the Lord. We done with the curses. Like real talk.
And there shall be no night there.
All right, so yeah, we can drop that. Let's go to Revelations 4 and 6.
Okay. The book of Revelation, chapter 4 and verse 6. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal. And in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind.
Right. So now this is John the Revelator again in the beginning chapters saying the same thing. He looked up, he see a sea of glass. You hear me? He looking at the Most High's throne as a sea of glass. And that's why a lot of these skyscrapers is built the way they built. It's all glass. You hear me?
Right.
That's why, because they trying to mimic that they like they in heaven. You hear me? They trying to mimic like they in heaven when that's nowhere near as glorious as what this is talking about.
And the first beast was like a lion.
Right. And also he had 4 beasts. I mean, he had beasts around about him. And these beasts, it's going to describe, Ezekiel described these same beasts. You feel me? I think it's Ezekiel 5 and 1, if I ain't mistaken. But he described these same beasts, which really is just angels. You feel me? Real talk.
And the second beast like a calf. And the third beast had a face as a man. And the fourth beast was like a flying eagle.
Right.
And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Ezekiel described these same beasts that came out of a flying saucer, what they would call a flying saucer, a UFO. You feel me? Ezekiel described this in the Old Testament, that he's seen this. You feel me? These is the angels. These is the ones that come in the earth. You feel me? And do the Lord's will.
And they were full of eyes within, and the rest not day and night.
Right, and they rest day and night. They don't sleep. They rest not day and night. They don't sleep. The angels don't sleep. The angels is always putting in work.
Right.
And what we is in actually under Commander Hunter, we the angels of the Most High on earth. You feel me? And that's how we gotta be. We gotta always be putting in work. We gotta always be ready to put in some work. Real talk.
Saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come.
Right, and this is what they do all day. So you out there playing with the Lord's name, you playing with his son's name, calling him Jesus Christ. This is what the angels do all day. They don't sleep day or night. This is what they do all day. Go ahead, read it again.
Some top, sir.
No, just where it say holy.
Okay. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come.
And that's what the angels do all day. With all them 4 faces of calves and lions and the face of a man and 6 wings. If you seen an angel, you probably think it's a devil. If you seen an angel, if an angel appeared to you right now, you would think it was a demon.
Right.
The whole time that's coming to save you. If you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. And this is what they do all day with all them eyes. They got eyes all around their head, which is why they see everything. And they just sit and say, holy, holy to the Lord all day. Real talk. That's the God we serve. I don't know what God you serve. You serve a God that you think just want to hug and kiss everybody with blonde hair and blue eyes, listening for your prayers all night. That ain't the God we serve. The God we serve got warriors sitting around him saying, holy, holy, all day, all night.
And when those beasts give glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever.
Right, who liveth forever and ever. But that's the funny thing, it's calling the angels beast. When you think of an angel, you think of a little baby with wings.
Right.
You think of a little baby with an arrow like Cupid, which is a Roman and Greek god that was made up. One whole time the Bible called the angels beasts.
The 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne.
Right, and also he got 24 elders. You feel me? It's 24 elders up there in heaven with the Most High. You feel me? Because you can't counsel yourself. When you give counsel, you got to have some people to talk to. You feel me? Real talk. And look what they did.
And worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying,
and they bow down to him. Them 24 elders, they bow down to the Lord. They do whatever the Lord say. They down with whatever the Lord is with. Helping counsel the Lord so we can get this shit right. So the angels can fulfill all the righteous judgments they supposed to.
Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things.
Right, that has did what?
Created all things.
And that's the truth. The Lord created all things. You sitting out playing with the Lord's name. He created everything. Everything you see, all these, the molecules. See, forget about the fancy stuff that you care about. Think about the stuff that don't make sense, like mountains.
Right.
You feel me? How the sea and the ocean go down thousands and thousands of feet deep. Think about all that stuff.
Right.
That's the God we serve. They created a lion, a tiger, whales, sharks. That's the God we serve. You feel me? Right. All these poisonous animals and spiders and snakes. That's the God we serve. You looking at God the wrong way. You feel me? Because the Lord created all things.
And for thy pleasure, they are and were created.
And that's a fact. For the Lord's pleasure, all these things was created. Feel me? Real talk. The Lord created all the stuff you see for his pleasure. So for you to say that God don't want me to do that, you an idiot. We tell you what the Lord say, you be like, nah, I don't think I should do that. It's right here in the Bible. And you say you shouldn't do it, you an idiot. And you don't deserve to rule our people. You feel me? You don't deserve it. Because our kingdom is coming. You feel me? What the Bible say on earth as it is in heaven. All right, so last scripture, if I could, go to Psalms 83 and 18.
Okay. You said 83 and 18, sir?
Yeah, kind. Yep.
Okay. The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 18. That men may know that thou.
Right. And men may know that thou. You feel me? And this was King David. King David was tired of these heathen nations. He was sick of their shit. Just like us in Isupk, we sick of their shit. You feel me? And once we start serving the Lord is gonna put all these heathen nations in their place. You feel me? All these heathen nations is gonna be put in their place. Real talk. Once we all come back to serving the Lord as a group.
Whose name alone is Yahweh.
Whose name alone is what?
Yahweh.
Yahweh. See, this is what we were talking about earlier in the class.
Okay.
J wasn't invented until 1524. So who the hell is Jehovah?
Right.
Who the hell is that? It's an English translation. That's an English translation from the Hebrew to English. To translate to Jehovah. That's not even a real name.
Right.
His name is Yahweh. You feel me? That's the Lord's name. The Lord's name is Yahweh. Go ahead.
Art the most high over all the earth.
And that's a fact. The most high, you feel me, over all the earth. That's the Lord we serve. I don't know who you serve. Maybe you serve your mama. I don't know. Maybe you serve your woman, your pastor. That's all I could think of. You feel me? But us in Isupk Indianapolis, we serve the Most High in Christ. You feel me? And we don't play with the Lord's name. You know, forget Thanksgiving. Like we said, go get you some Chick-fil-A, Cracker Barrel, or whatever. Taco Bell, but don't go eat that turkey. You feel me? Tune in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tune in Wednesday night for the podcast. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barak Thumb, Yahweh Shema Thumb, Ba'Shem Yahushua.
All right, guys, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the tournament. Today it's going to be Greenskins, a faction that I've just started learning and been having a lot of fun with, actually. Of course, they got their new trailer today, which was pretty cool. Granted, as far as trailers go overall, I would say it had some fun elements for sure, but I've always not been a huge fan of trailers that incorporate like campaign gameplay, like it has things moving around the map and showing the campaign map. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it had some really cool elements. There was like a couple parts that were very hype, like the Mangler squigs and whatnot. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite trailer in the world. Granted, I'm still very excited for the update, but yeah, just my 2 cents. So looking here, let's figure it out. And the maps are going to be what? Border Low Landing is going to be the first map, and it looks like we're playing Beastmen. I actually don't even know what to expect in this matchup. This is truly the forbidden fruit here. Yeah, it's go time, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. They definitely like some of the other budgets definitely told a better story in my opinion. We're a little like even the Thrones of Decay trailer was really good. Like you had Elspeth flying around, you had like Tamarkand bust through the gates with his Nurgle horde, then you had like the epic Thunderbarge come in with like the dwarven music playing. It was like, it just felt a little bit more epic, right, than this one. Understandably, like the thematics of the ogres and greenskins is a little bit more comedic in some ways. But yeah, it's tough. So I think my opponent's playing Beastman? Okay, I don't know what to do in this matchup. We're going to have to figure this out the good old-fashioned way. Yeah. Though my favorite part about the trailer was Franz having a shield. I was like, oh yeah, dude, it's time. Shield Franz meta is upon us. All right, so Beastman. What are we doing against the Beastmen? The Beastie Boys. Obviously, baseline Orc Boys are going to be decent because they're shielded and can take a beating for Gork and or Mork. Probably going to need to get a screen blocker up, so let me just go ahead and find one real quick and look at a screen blocker